Hi, my name is Mariah and I'm one of the account managers here at Just Media Design. Welcome back to another one of our webinars in partnership with CCIQ, where we've been unpacking the fundamentals of digital marketing to ensure that your business is digitally ready going into the coming months. Today we're going to be discussing websites, in particular walking through 3 different website building platforms, and these are Squarespace, WordPress and Shopify. Websites can serve a multitude of different purposes. It can be a place where you can host information about your business. So if you are a cafe, this is somewhere where you can post your menu and your opening hours. If you are involved in the creative industry, like a photographer or videographer, it's where you can showcase your gallery and your work. Websites can also be a place where you host blog information. And finally, they can serve the purpose of e-commerce or online retailing. If you have products that can be purchased online, this is where you would direct your customers to. Looking at Squarespace, WordPress and Shopify, each one has their own strengths and weaknesses, and which one you choose comes down basically to what you're going to be using it for. To help you get a better understanding of what each platform is, how it works, and if it suits your business needs, we're going to be assessing the 3 of them across a range of different categories. The different categories we're going to be assessing them across are ease of use, degree of flexibility, integration opportunities, e-commerce capabilities, cost, and help and support. The first one we're going to look at is ease of use, and the good news is all of these platforms have been designed so that it is easy for you to build a website. No evil genius has sat out there sadistically hoping that you are crying behind your computer, pulling your hair out because you can't even upload your own logo to the website. Of the 3 platforms, Squarespace has the easiest to use, most intuitive back end. If you are trying to build out your homepage, for example, the platform has drag and drop capabilities, meaning you can move elements within the framework, such as your header, text boxes, images, etc. Squarespace is very much the pizza of platforms. It doesn't require a lot of skill to put some toppings onto a base and then shoving it into the oven. Both WordPress and Shopify also have relatively easy to navigate backends, with WordPress also having similar drag and drop capabilities to Squarespace. Both of them also have varying degrees of customization, however, this does come at a cost. Some greater knowledge of coding is required, but if you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, that shouldn't be an issue. One way that each of these platforms helps to achieve ease of use is through themes. And what are themes? Well, instead of building your site completely from scratch, themes do most of the hard work for you. Themes are basically templates with varying degrees of customization, and they are a very quick and easy way to build a website in 30 minutes or less. The only downside of themes, however, is that over-reliance on them can mean you end up with a website that looks like everyone else's. Of the 3 platforms, Shopify and WordPress offer the largest library of free and paid themes. Shopify in particular offers the greatest selection when it comes to themes that have a stronger focus on e-commerce capabilities. However, it is important to note that varying degrees of customization do often require some knowledge of coding, so this is something you'll want to keep in mind if you are working with themes. The next category we're going to look at is integration opportunities. And when I talk about integration opportunities, what I'm referring to here is apps or plugins. And these are essentially elements that you can integrate into the back end of your site in order to accomplish a specific feature or function. First thing to establish is, are apps and plugins essential? And the answer is not necessarily. It depends on the kind of site you're looking to create. Apps and plugins can cover features and functions ranging all the way from shipping options down to more specific things such as recommending products based on what your customer currently has sitting in their cart. Most of these apps and plugins are free, however, there are paid versions that do typically perform better. It all comes down to what you're looking for and how much wiggle room you have within your budget. The downside of apps is that some technical knowledge is also required, especially when it comes to installing them and updating them on a regular basis. WordPress and Shopify offer greater opportunity than Squarespace when it comes to app and plugin integration. Because Squarespace is not an open source platform like WordPress or Shopify, they more closely monitor and control what you use and are therefore more strict with what plugins and apps they will allow. The next category we're going to look at is e-commerce capabilities. So if your business is an online retailer, this is probably the category you're going to want to pay most attention to. The good news is all three platforms do offer e-commerce capabilities, however in varying degrees. For example, Shopify is 100% e-commerce focused and was designed specifically for online retailers. Looking at payment gateways, they offer numerous options. However, it is important to flag that transactional fees will apply if you do not use Shopify Payments, which is their own payment gateway. On Squarespace, for payment gateways, they offer Stripe and PayPal. So if you are not an e-commerce focused business or you have a very small focus on e-commerce, this should not be as much of an issue for you. But if you are a large online retailer, then this probably is going to be a problem. One final thing to note is that each platform does charge commission per purchase, which is just something to keep in mind. Which platform is more likely to get your business found on Google? Well, this all comes down to SEO, and SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Basically, it lets Google know what your business is about, so when people search relevant or related products or services, your business is going to pop up in the results. Contrary to what some people think, Squarespace actually does a pretty good job when it comes to SEO. For example, you have complete freedom to customize your URLs. WordPress, on the other hand, does an even better job with specific apps and plugins designed to be put into the back end of your site to improve your site's SEO. The next category we're going to look at is cost. And an important question you're probably thinking is, how much is this going to cost me? Of the three, Squarespace definitely does have the cheapest packages, with WordPress and Shopify having the ability to get more expensive, especially if you're looking at themes, plugins, and apps. That being said, all three platforms do give affordable solutions. However, the more customized you want your site to be, the more it's going to cost you. The final category we're going to look at is help and support. So what happens if you get stuck and you need help? Well, the good news is if you face a problem or if you have a question, there is a very high chance that someone else has had a very similar problem or question. If you ever get stuck, Squarespace and Shopify both offer excellent online support teams. So if you ever have a question or an issue, don't be afraid to reach out and get in contact with them. WordPress doesn't offer official support. They do have an online community forum, but it's not always easy to find the answers to specific questions you might have regarding a unique situation. Now that we've compared Squarespace, WordPress, and Shopify across a couple of different categories, how do you know which one is right for you? Well, if your business is not strongly focused on e-commerce, so you are a cafe, a hairdresser, a fitness studio, a photographer or videographer, Squarespace is probably the platform you're going to want to go with here. It is simple, easy to use, and a great way to visually show off your product or your services. Squarespace is also a viable option if you are a small e-commerce business. So if you are an online boutique accessory store only shipping to Queensland, this could work for you. If you're also new to websites, again, Squarespace is a great option. As opposed to diving in head first, you can gently dip your toe in the water. On the other hand, if your business is e-commerce heavy, then it is worthwhile to invest a little bit more and look at WordPress and Shopify, especially since both offer opportunities for scalability and provide a better user experience. In the long run, from a scalability perspective, if your online store takes off and you're looking to build an e-commerce empire, Shopify is perfectly equipped to do this. If you're looking for a little bit more freedom with customization, again, WordPress and Shopify are your best bets with more themes, more apps, and more plugins. However, if this isn't a problem for you and you're looking for something a bit more simple, quicker, and cost-effective, then Squarespace is your best bet. So there you go. We've covered 3 different website building platforms today. Hopefully, you've got a bit more insight into how each one works, where their strengths and weaknesses lie, and which one is going to be the best suited to your business.